Hi guys, I'm back today with another process video. This is a picture of my daughter, or this will be a picture of my daughter and her teacher from last year. It was the last day of school, and I thought this was appropriate layout to be doing right now because it is the last day of school. Yesterday was my daughter's last day of second grade. So I am going to be working on this page, and what I'm first going to do is take this little kitty cat stamp that came in the October afternoon school kit, and the school kit is called, if you guys need to know, let me know in the comments below. I'll have to check that out. I can't quite remember what the kit is. So what I'm doing is I am taking my Versamark stamp ink and I'm going to stamp out this kitty cat a bazillion times, and I'm going to emboss it with white embossing powder, and I'll show you the first set here, and you can see the kitty cat here in a second. And then I'm going to continue to do this all across the entire page, and this is going to be part of my background. And my daughter absolutely loves kitty cat, so I thought it was perfect that this little kitty cat was in the stamp set and it matched the paper collection that I was going to be using. So that's why I decided to use that. So here I'm just going to heat that up, and again, this is being stamped on vellum if I didn't say that already, and I just really like the translucent effect, and it's just going to be a very subtle effect on the actual page because the background page is kind of a white with a black on it, so you're not going to be, these aren't going to be standing out a lot. So here's the little page with all of the kitty cats, and you can kind of see it's very subtle. It's just a little hint of that, and I really like the look of that. It's just very airy and adds a nice background texture. So now I'm going to be working on the other parts of the layout. I'm going to cut out a strip of this bookshelf paper, and I'm going to add that so that my photo sits on it kind of like a shelf. And then I'm going to trim out this teacher's pet kitty cat square and use that as another embellishment on the page. And again, mimicking that kitty cat stamp that I have, and I just really think that kitty cat is so cute. So I always enjoy when I can use stamps and stuff on my layouts because I don't pull my stamps out nearly enough on my layouts. I use them a decent amount in Project Life, but I definitely don't use them in my 12 by 12 and 8.5 by 11 layouts as much. So definitely pull those stamps out. You need to use them. I know you guys have them in your stash, so make sure you guys are utilizing all of your little goodies that you have and not just let them sit. So now I'm just kind of figuring out where I want to place everything, and I didn't want all this vellum to show on the page, so I'm going to put a little bit over on the right hand side that's going to overhang, and I'll trim that off in a little bit. So now I'm just trimming out this little square just a little bit better. I think I left a little bit extra white around the edge and I wanted to get that off. So I'm just trimming that out. And then I'm going to add that over there to the left and tucked it a little bit under the photo. So now I'm going to be going through my die cuts to try to figure out which die cut I want to use on this page. I have lots of little tidbits from the October Afternoon collection. I ended up getting this collection from, I think it was Scrapbook Steals or something, one of those websites where you get a really good bargain on huge collections. And I really think that's the way to go. If you don't have to have the collection right when it comes out, if you wait a little bit and you go to some of those bargain websites, you can really get some good deals and get a lot of the collection by doing that. So I would definitely recommend that if you don't have to get the latest and greatest right away. So here I'm just going through these little die cuts and trying to figure out what I want to use. I'm going to layer up that A+ with the little peaked circle that's blue, and then under that will be the little red label. And I think I end up going back to that red. Oh, maybe I keep the gold star. I can't quite remember. I'll have to tell you as we go along. There's lots of die cuts in this pack, and I know I kind of went back and forth on a few. So now that photo is mounted on a piece of black and white, looks like composition notebook paper. That was also from the October Afternoon kit. And I'm just making sure this is straight enough because I have that composition paper behind it and it was throwing me off. So I just used my ruler just to kind of make sure it was a little straight. And because this is vellum on the background, I just put my adhesive where the cardstock or the pattern paper is showing so that you don't see the adhesive. And now I'm just gluing my little bits and pieces. And that little one that I just put down says check it. And then there's the label. Oh, and I do end up keeping the little gold star one. I think I wanted to pull in some of that navy blue because I have that navy blue book on the far left, and I didn't think it was balanced nicely, so I thought having that gold with the navy blue kind of mimic the gold and navy blue book on the far left of that strip. And now I'm going to be looking through some more of the little die cuts. And I'm going to use one of these speech bubbles. It's going to be this oval one, and on top of it I'm going to add one of the phrases. And then I'm going to end up gluing that phrase on top of that speech bubble, kind of making it look like the kitty cat is saying it. I thought that was cute. And the phrase says, "in a class of her own." and I'm just kind of playing around trying to figure out what I want to do. I love this washi tape. It looks like little, what is that paper, that writing paper, and I'm just going to tuck that up underneath the vellum, underneath the bookshelf. And I just really like how that looks because it's not a very bold statement, but it's just enough to give a little more added texture and dimension to the page that I really like. So now I'm going to start gluing these things down because I'm pretty happy with what I'm doing, and I'm going to cut the little speech bubble part off of the in the class of our own because I didn't want like a double speech bubble, so I just made a little word strip or a phrase strip. I'm going to stick that down, and I didn't like where that was, so I'm going to move it, I believe, up to a different location. I'm just using my adhesive remover to get any of the stickies off of there. And I thought it was getting too clustered around the photo, so I thought by doing it over here it would kind of start bringing in the left side of the page over to the right and not be too condensed in one spot. I'm going to add a little bit more of this tape over above the kitty cat. I'm going to just have to move that speech bubble for a second so I can tuck that in. And I'm going to tuck it up underneath that square die cut, and I just really like this washi tape. But the problem is, it is very themey because it is kind of school, so I don't get to use it very often. It is from October Afternoon, so I was really glad. I want to basically definitely use it for this layout because, again, it's very themey, so it's hard to use that because I don't have a lot of pictures of school-related activities. So now I'm going to be looking at those 10 pins, and I really like this one, and I guess I decide, oh, I do ultimately decide. I thought I had the A over there somewhere. I just have it in the 10 pin instead of the die cut. So I am going to stick that down on that peaked circle, and I still think it looks good. I think that's what I was initially thinking, is that I wanted to bring some blue in, but I think it looks good without it. Now I have these Daily Flash stickers that are from the same kit, and I'm using that little pencil. Again, just to kind of draw your eye over to the picture, and then I'm using this little chevron-y kind of label looking thing, also from the collection, and that little yellow heart. And I think that right cluster might be done, I think. And now I'm just going to tuck in a little number 2 because she is going to be going into 2nd grade, and there are 2 of them in the picture. I'm going to put that today in the top right there. Once I decide, I couldn't figure it out, so I'm just kind of trying to play around. And I like using these tweezers because then I can just kind of move it around and not have my big fat fingers in the way. I absolutely love these puffy stickers. Oh my gosh, they're so cool. Like, I could just hold them and rub them all day long because they're just this cool texture. I love the October Afternoon puffy stickers. So I'm going to add a couple of those. I added the pencil in the top right. I'm going to add the little eraser by the pencil. It seemed to be appropriate. And then I have the other little sticker that was a kind of green color up by the speech bubble by the kitty cat. I'm going to add that little tab up to the right, again trying to just make a couple different clusters here on this page. I'm going to add a little pink heart, and I think that's pretty much it. Now I'm just going to trim off that excess, and I was going to use my trimmer, but I thought using my straight edge would be better with an X-Acto knife, so that's what I'm going to end up choosing to do. And that just seemed to make it a little bit easier. It just didn't seem like it was going to set nice on my trimmer. So that's another option. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to be starting to show you some close-ups. If you guys have any questions about anything on the layout, I will get back with you. Oh no, I'm sorry, I forgot about this. I thought that the page looked like it was kind of falling, like there was no like start and end of the page. So I'm going to cut these 2 little strips out and put them at the top and the bottom of the page. And I really think that ends the page well. It kind of brings your eye all the way in and doesn't let your eye fall off the page. So that is actually going to be the last part of it. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked the video. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, leave those in the comments below. I love hearing from you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye, guys.